Welcome back to the Davy Brown 990 restoration. For those of you new, my name's Barry. Right, what another beautiful day it is today, isn't it? Absolutely corker this. It's Monday. Yesterday, last video, you saw we're putting the valve chest and rock shaft back in. Today, blue skies, wall to wall. Still a bit cool, but an absolutely beautiful day. So we're going to put the quadrant control on today. We also have here the internals for the selector, but they're not going in today because I've got a little piece to make for to fit onto the draft control cable, right? So they'll be going in another separate video in a couple of days time, but this is going on today. So I've rolled the tractor outside and we've got a bit more light on it than we had yesterday, and a lot of you be saying thank the bloody Lord for that, because we couldn't see a damn thing yesterday. But anyway, here's a way that we're going to get the camera set up, that we'll get this sorted out and pop it into position. Back in a minute. First thing, we need to get our spring. Let's just check that still. Everything in there is nice and free. Our valve is still free, and I've put the little toggle bar vertical, so when we put the front on, we know we've got to set the slot in the control knob vertical. Now, first thing we want to do is put the spring on in one of the little ferrules, and we need to do that in a way that we can hold it in place whilst we put the rest of the control panel on. This wire might be strong enough, might not. Straighten it as best we can. We'll put and I'll cut the end off so it's square, so that when we pull it, it comes straight out and we don't get any problems. Put a little bend in it. Okay. So, on here, we need a spring. So we'll put our spring on, down to the shoulder. And we need a ferrule. Put one behind and one goes in front of the quadrant control arm. So we'll put that in there. What you don't want to be doing is letting go of that. Want a piece of wire. Push that right back, put a bit of wire in, and then release it. Now, I've got a feeling that might be not thin enough. We'll see. We'll see, won't we? Okay, next little job. To get the unit, get it 515'd up and get ready to pop it into place. We'll just give that a wipe. I've got some heavier wire there. I don't know whether to attempt it with a heavier wire. Let's have a look at that heavy wire first. Right, let's have a That's better. That's better. That's straight, that's not bending the wire. Right, so I've got our quadrant with our 515 on it. Put a little bit of 515 on here. That'll do. Now we'll just get rid of the dribbles. So we've got 515 on there. We've got 515 on here. Let's offer this up. Up in a minute. Let's make sure the little receiver is in the middle and in a position where it can receive that. Now let's get a bolt. One bolt in. Two bolts in. Okay, now before we tighten that up really, really tight, let's get a second ferrule. These have seen better days. They're not particularly the best, but they're cleaned up nicely. You can see they've been sitting in water somewhere, haven't they? It's got a domed end, it's got a flat end. Domed end goes towards the unit. Like that. And then we have one nylock. And we'll get one nylock on. Now, let's get a socket for that. Because I want to give that the littlest turns. Just make sure that when I release that wire, it doesn't come flying back out and hit us. Socket. Three-eighths. Right. Okay, so let's see if we can release this wire. Got it's got a hold now. Okay, so the other alternative is we get a screwdriver and we'll throw it on the floor get in there. There we go. Wires out. Clips come forward. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put that on a full nut. Look at that, just chip me paint. Right, I'm going to leave it just like that, just poking through a full nut, because we need to set this up. Let's have a okay, now this is a good part. We'll get these nipped up. Where's my little awkward one? That awkward one goes in there. It's not awkward to get it in, it's awkward to get at it, to tighten it up. Okay, so they look like 1/2 inch, don't they? That's 9. What's that one? What's that one? That's 1/2 inch. So, quick look down there. Make sure all the gasket goo's squeezing. Okay, so all I've got to do now is get in there with a 1/2 inch spanner, if we can. Can you see? Right, that's tight. Tight enough anyway for that. That's tight. And that's tight. Okay. It's got dirty, look. Dirty. Can't have it getting dirty, can we? I'll have to get some white out and give that a touch. Okay, we're going to put handbrake mechanism together. Let's go and get the bits. Right, so we've got our bag of bits, our handbrake bits. My little system of bagging everything up worked a treat, didn't it? So in my bag, what we've got, we have got the roll pin to go in, and we've got the cone to go in. Now we're going to drop the handbrake, and at the minute I've got it. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to we'll reposition you with one of these, will we? Right, so we'll just cut a cable tie that we had, keeping that up. I think I might need a little. Let's have a look. We might get a hammer for this. put it in with a cone up, because the seat inside here is tapered as well, so that everything as it goes up and down can straighten itself out. Where's my hammer? There we go. There's my hammer. Right, let's have it. I have to go and get a proper hammer, haven't I? So I need one hammer. Could do them being with the wheel off. One hammer against the back of this, one to hit the pin, and I've just got my little one. So even if I can get this halfway in, it'll do till I can get the rest done. Put that in there. That'll do till I can get, I need a bigger hammer, and I need a dolly to go in behind here to support that. Okay, now, so my gaskets are missing. For this to here, square one, I've got the rectangular one for the back plate. But what we're going to do, we're going to put these on purely and simply to just to stop muck getting in there. I am literally just going to put these on finger tight, and it is purely stop the dust getting in. And I need to make some new gaskets because for whatever reason these ones have disappeared. As I say, this is purely and simply dirt prevention, because these have got to come off to do group 3s, haven't they? Right, rear cover, found my gasket. I'll whip that back off and I'll put that in. Rear cover, let's get the gasket for it. And this is purely and simply. So I've got our rear cover, got our rear gasket. As I say, this is purely and simply dust prevention, because we've got on here, we have yet got to put in the internals anyway, which we're going to have a look at in a minute, because I need to make a little piece. I'll pop all this in, just so it now gets lost. Then we can nip round, trim off these excesses, can't we? Ding, 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 ding. What's another thing we'll have to find in it? My baskets. My lift arms. God knows where the round gasket went to. Haven't got a clue. I suppose the dicky birds come and stole it or something. But anyway, it's gone. I haven't got a clue where it is. But it's on with 515, so it'll not leak anyway, and everything's nipped up nice and tight. I need to put a new pin in that handbrake. That one's not good. So we'll measure it before I leave. We'll bring another one up, we'll put a new one in, and we'll get it pushed all the way through. But for the moment, it stops that trailing on the ground, doesn't it? Little job we need to do now before we can continue. And it's with this. This is the internals for the draft control system. You know what I mean? And it's the draft control cable comes through the casing, through the middle of here, and into a pole or a cylinder with a hole in it that fits in there, that when the draft control pulls, it does this. Well, this little bit's missing, isn't it? So, what I need to do, let's grab me box of bolts, see if we've got a bolt that's somewhere that size that we can fabricate a bit from. Just found my gasket. Look where it's hiding. There. Too late now, was the cry. Never mind. So the plan is, see if I've got a bolt of that diameter or one slightly bigger that we can manipulate to make a little unit for that. So that one fits beautifully. So what we'll do, see, that fits beautifully in there, doesn't it? So what we'll do, we'll take that home, or we'll see if I've got a shorter one. I hate cutting big, lovely big bolts up like that. So we'll take this home. Right, so what we're going to do, we're going to have a scrummage through our box so we can find one the same diameter, shorter, because I hate damaging or wasting good nuts and bolts when I've got crap in there that I can't use. But we'll have a look, we'll find that, okay? Then we're going to make up the little round piece that fits in there. We need a hole drilled through it so the cable can come through here. I need to look at the parts diagram to see if is the cable tapped into this hole, or is this clearanced and there's a nut on the back. Let me know in the comments what yours was if you've done this on yours. But in the meantime, I'll be having a look on the parts diagram. But as I say, put in the comments, is yours tapped into here or is it clearanced into here with a lock nut on the back? Because that will, depending upon this, that will affect the length of the cable and the adjustment on the cable coming from the draft control unit. Right, we'll do this as a separate video. We'll take this home, do this. Right guys, as I say, thanks very much for joining. I don't think there's an awful lot to go back on that in terms of big lumps. I think that's about it for that. We'll do a separate video on manufacturing this little piece, and we will do a separate video on my group 3 adjustments. And then we'll see what we've got left to clip into position, because there's the lift arms and the sway bars and things like that to go on, and a few little bits and pieces that we need to source yet. Okay, very important. John Hughes, you messaged me a while ago about your indicators on your tractor. You were fitting a new indicator switch and relay, I believe. You were going to send us some photographs through of your relay and your switch. Send them to me email, please. And my email for this channel is in the About tab on the home page. All right, so drop us an email with those pictures in, or Drop us a comment on the back of this video if you're watching it. Please let us know where you are and how you're getting on with that particular task. Right guys, that's it. Thanks very much for visiting. As always, your time's greatly appreciated. Remember, don't overthink it. It's only nuts and bolts. And we'll see you in the next one. Ta-ra now.